Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to make a new video on this topic, structure of chromosome, cell cycle and cell division. Okay, particularly this chapter, this topic, it belongs to that class 10 ICSE students. Okay, so the structure of chromosome, cell cycle and cell division. This chapter generally deals with that structure of chromosome, what is chromosome, genes, the structure of DNA and the cell divisions. Okay, mitosis, meiosis, all that. So let's first start with this chromosome. So if I ask you what is chromosome, so what will be your answer? Chromosomes are generally highly coiled, rod-shaped, self-replicating, stained structure which carries the genetic information. Okay, again let me write it down. Chromosomes are self replicating, highly coiled, stained, rod shaped structure that carries genetical information generation after generation. Okay, so what is chromosome? This self replicating, that means it can produce the same copy of its. Okay, highly coiled, they are very compact and also stained. You can stain them, they generally get colored. Okay, chromosomes, if you break this down, it brings chroma, that means color, and soma, this means body, so it is a colored body. Okay, they generally take the basic stains because chromosomes, they are generally acidic. Okay, so now where you can find these chromosomes? Okay, the chromosomes, they generally resides inside the nucleus. Okay, but you cannot see them, you are not able to see them every time. You can see the chromosome when they are going for division. Okay, cell division means one cell divides to form another cell or many more cells. Okay, so if I come to the structure of this chromosome, let me just draw one simple chromosome here. Okay, diagrammatically you can just draw like that. Okay, it's a small butterfly shaped. This is a chromosome. Okay, and inside it there are some coils inside it. Okay, so what are these coils? These coils are called as chromatin fiber. Okay, so you can see this beautiful butterfly like diagram. It have four arms, isn't it? 1 2 3 4, but it is not like that. Okay, these four arms are joined at a point, no, in the midpoint. We call it as centromere. Okay, now if you divide this chromosome into two, how they will look like? They'll just like this. Okay, these two things we call them, sorry, chromatid. Okay, chromatid. So this is the chromatid. This in this chromosome, this is one chromatid, this is second chromatid. Okay, and they are joined by a structure called as centromere. Okay, now comes something. What is this chromatin fiber? Okay, this chromatin fiber, I'm just drawing it here. It is just like a fibrous structure. Okay, fibrous structure. Suppose this is your cell and this is your nucleus. Okay, so what happened? This chromatin fiber, they just roam around inside the nucleus in normal condition. Okay, let me write in normal condition. What happens in the next stage? Means when this cell is ready for division, what happened? Same cell, same, actually it becomes quite bulky. Okay, so what happened? This chromatin fiber, they comes together. Actually they get coiled and they forms this. This means just pre-division, or you can say it is like before division. Okay, these things they get what? Supercoiled. Means they coils around each other and they just comes closer to form this particular structure. Okay, so now what I will show you is that what is DNA, what is gene, and how these chromatin fibers they just surrounds each other. Okay, I'm just taking this black pen. If you want to take out this black thing out, just a second. Okay, just for your understanding, I'm just doing this thing. Okay, so if you just unwind this chromosome, so look, this fiber is comes out and it's getting opened. Okay, so this thing is not that much simple. Okay, what happens? You know, these fibers, these are what? Let me write here. These are chromatin fibers. So what happened? These chromosomes, okay, these chromosomes are made up of one more thing. What do you call that? It is called as histone proteins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. So what are these things? What are these clumsy things? These pink colored things? They are called as, we call them, we draw it green pen. These are histone proteins. Okay, what are histone proteins? Though it's totally out of your syllabus, still it's good to know. There are some amino acid called as arginine and lysine. These are arginine and lysine rich proteins. Okay, and in this case, these histone proteins, they are called as histone octamer. What? Octamer. Just know that much, that there are H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. 2 copies of all these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 histone proteins are there, 2 copy of them. So it makes 4 multiplied by 2, it makes 8. So histone octamer. Okay, this particular structure is called as solenoid model. Okay, and this model, but what are these? What are these? This octamer around which this black chromatin fiber is surrounding, we call it as nucleosomes. Okay, there is one, there is two, there are many more. So what happened? The nucleosomes, they comes together and they comes very much close, and they makes that compact structure of this chromosome. Okay. Now, as this chromatin fiber is now loosened up, here you can see these are two helix. Okay, two staircase like structure. These are two helix. You know, I have just developed a bad habits of just removing whatever comes with my fingers. Okay, so don't get bothered with it. So these are two helix. Okay, this is one, this is the another one. So what is this? This is called as DNA. The structure, the very core, very basic unit of our that genetic material, genetic signature. Okay, the DNA. So what is this? You know, this one is that helix, and there comes something. Okay, there are some staircases. So what are these things? There is a backbone. This we can call it as DNA backbone. Okay, DNA backbone, and in between there are some staircases. So what is this? Okay, this whole DNA, our deoxyribonucleic acid, they are made up of three things. What? DNA is made up of three things. First one is sugar, phosphate or inorganic phosphate. Okay, and third one is nitrogen base. Nitrogen bases, there are two types of nitrogen bases. One is purine and another one is pyrimidine. Okay, purine and pyrimidine. So what happened? This purine, it have two nitrogen bases, A and G, and pyrimidine, they have two, T and C. What is this? A means adenine, G means guanine, T means thymine, and C means cytosine. So what happened? There is a very beautiful thing lies inside the DNA. This purine always binds with a pyrimidine, or you can say pyrimidine binds with a purine. Okay, let me tell you one thing. This A, it will always bind with T, thymine, and this G, it always bind with C. Bind with what? In this A and T, there remains hydrogen bond. Between A and T, there are two bonds. Between G and C, there are three bonds. Okay, G and C three bonds, A and T two bonds. So they always sit in this structure, in this position. A always will bind with T, or T will bind with A, G will bind with C, C will bind with G. Okay. So if I write here arbitrarily, okay, A, G, T, A, C, G, T, A, whatever it is. Okay. So you can just simply say, look, always with A, what will bind? T, isn't it? Thymine. Now with G, on the opposite side there will be C. As there is T, so there will be what? A. T. Sorry, A, T. Again C, there will be G. Again G, there will be C. And there is T, so as it's okay, I'm just putting it. I think you guys have got it already. So that's it. So in between A and T, there will be always which bond? Double bond. G and C, triple bond. Double bond, double bond. Triple bond, triple bond, double bond, double bond. Okay, just always remember this. So adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. Okay, AT and GC. So there, one more thing I want to tell you is that there are some amount. Okay, as our DNA is inside our body, inside our all the cells, in the nucleus. So always remember the number of purine is always equal to total number of pyrimidine, or A plus G will always be equal to T plus C. Okay, this is called as, it has been named after one scientist whose name was Chargaff's rule. Okay, so that's it. Chromosome, it is made up of highly condensed chromatin fiber with nucleosomes. What are nucleosomes? Nucleosomes are the core of histone protein, 8 histone proteins, and DNA wraps around them. They comes together very close and they make this compact structure. Okay, for your easiness, I bought something. I think this will help you. You can see this thing. This is a coconut rope. Okay, so look how nicely it has been intertwined, how nicely it has been coiled. Okay, so you can take it as an example for this chromatin fiber. Okay, so look, it has been coiled so nicely. If I want to just unwind it, I'm just going to unwind it, and you can see it is unwinding, isn't it? And if I leave it, the moment I leave it, it will again try to make to its earlier condition, isn't it? So this DNA, this chromatin fiber, they always surrounds each other like that. You can take this as an example. These two are the two helix, and in between there remains this staircases, or simply this nitrogen bases bonded with this hydrogen bonds. Okay, so without wasting any time, I am going to go forward. Okay, and one thing more, this helical structure has been discovered by Watson and Crick. Okay, the scientist's name was Watson and Crick. They discovered these very beautiful things, are very basic of our lives. That's why they have been awarded Nobel. Okay, I think they have got it in 1953, most probably. I might be wrong, but still I think it's 1953. You can check it on your books. Okay, so that's it. Let's go straight into cell cycle. Okay, so what is cell cycle? Oh, sorry, one thing I have missed. Extremely sorry. That is that gene, isn't it? So let me draw it again. So as you have seen, there are so many staircases around. Okay. So what is gene? The whole thing is called as DNA. Okay. So if you take just one part, suppose you just take, let me mark it with another color. This small part, if you just take that part, this part can produce some protein. Okay. this particular part of a DNA is called as gene. Okay, so what is gene? Gene any segment of DNA that can produce RNA, which in turn makes protein for physiological or biological purposes. Okay, so you can make it short, no problem. Any segment of DNA that can produce RNA, which in turn makes protein for physiological or biological purposes. So gene, it is a very short way. Genes, it is a segment of DNA. Okay, in MCQ tests you can also answer like that. Okay, gene, it is a segment of DNA. So I'll just go to cell cycle. Okay, very quickly I'll just sum up that because the video is getting lengthy, isn't it? So cell cycle. Cell cycle means from one cell, it makes another cell. Okay, so 2N and N. What is this? 2N means diploid. N means haploid. Okay. So what is this? These two terms always comes with chromosomes. As you know, in us, in human being, we have how many chromosomes? 46 chromosomes. Okay, or 23 pairs. Okay, that is in our body cells, or specifically you can say somatic cells, and haploid, there become 23, not pair, just 23 chromosomes. Okay, that happens in the germ cell or reproductive cells. Okay, so look, in the diploid the number of chromosomes is 46, it just get half in the haploid. Okay, just keep that in your mind. So what is cell cycle? First go with the cell division. Okay, cell division means from one cell it will form another cell. Okay, so in biology there are two types of cell division. One is mitosis, okay, and another one is meiosis. What is mitosis? What is meiosis? Mitosis is the division of somatic cells. Okay, very simple, very short ways you can remember. Okay, mitosis, division of somatic cells, keeping the number of chromosome same. Okay, very easy, isn't it? And what is meiosis? It is the division of germ cells where the chromosome number get halved. Okay, the chromosome number just gets halved. Okay, so let me draw a very simple small diagram. Okay, just moving it. So here you can see this is a let me draw just one thing. This is the parental and these are the offspring. Okay, offspring means the newborn. Okay, the new cells. This is parental. This is also parental. So look what happened. Very quickly we have to go through it. Look, the number of chromosome in the mother cell in the parental cell was 12. Now look, in 2 division, the number of chromosome is getting the same. The same number of chromosomes are there. It was 2n, there is also 2n, and it's just the same. Okay. So the number of chromosome is same as I have said in the last writings. So you can tell that it is mitosis. That generally happens in our body cells or somatic cells. Okay, where the number of chromosomes they remain intact, they remain same. Okay, and this is what happened here. 2n, the number of chromosomes in the parental, it was 2n, and it's getting halved. Look, in the first division it's getting halved. So here it is what happening? It is reducing, isn't it? Reducing. The number of chromosomes is reducing. Now look, in the next steps it is again same. If you take this nn, okay, you can see in the next offspring they are all nn and nn. They are just the same. So what happened if you compare this to this one? In this case, mitosis case, the whole thing is the number of chromosomes remaining same. Here the number of chromosomes getting reduced. You know, it is meiosis. Okay. So as the number of chromosomes is getting reduced in this meiosis, hence it is called as reduction division. Okay. This meiosis is called as reduction division. Okay, that's it. Okay, I am removing it to go for the cell cycle. What is cell cycle then? Cell cycle. Cell cycle is a sequential incidents which takes place inside the cell as it divides from a young cell to many more cells. Okay. So cell cycle, there are 2 stages. Okay. 2 stages in the cell cycle. One is called as interphase and one is called as mitotic phase. Okay, what is interphase? Phase means some particular time, some particular span of time inside which some incidents happen. Okay, so interphase, it is again divided into 3 key steps. One is G1, S and G2. Okay, and this meiotic phase you can say it like, sorry, it is M. Okay, what is G1? This is a first growth. S, this is synthesis. This is, you can say, second growth. Okay, second growth phase. Second growth synthesis phase and second growth phase. What happened? Why are these? Why interphase and mitotic phase? Look, cell cycle. Suppose you just take the example of yourself. Okay, you are there. You want to make another copy of yourself. This is a clone. Okay. So what you have to do? You have to produce the same things, the same eyes, same heart, same body weight, everything like yourself in that new organisms, isn't it? So you have to make new growth of those things. So when that happens, so that need to be happen in order to produce a new cell. So in this G1, this first growth phase, that production of RNA, protein, this all thing happens. Okay, so the cells become quite bulgy. it becomes quite big. Okay, then comes S or synthesis phase. What is that? In this synthesis phase, there happens your synthesis of DNA. Your genetic material, you have just learned before what is DNA. It is a genetic material, the genetic signature in our body that we get from our parents. Okay, and we are tend to send it to our next generation. Okay, so the DNA it gets synthesized. G2 it comes after synthesis phase, which again carry forward the G2 phase. The growth, more growth inside the cell. And let me tell you one thing, in between these G1 and S, there comes one phase, we call it as G0. Okay, what is G0? It is a resting phase. Okay, after G1, after the growth, the cell it can decide whether to go for the synthesis or not. You know, DNA is the most precious thing. Like that, suppose you have a diamond. So what you will do, you will always take care. You will take best security to keep that diamond secure, isn't it? So the cell always wait, or it decide. It takes some time whether to go for the DNA synthesis or not. Okay, so it's not that much important for you guys. When you go for the upper classes, you can go through it. Okay, G0 step. So G1S and G2. Okay, this mitotic phase, this M phase, it is again divided into something. Okay, let me tell you what. I'm just removing it. You can have one glance through it. Okay, let me write. Mitotic phase, it is divided into 4 steps. One is P, M, A, T. What is this? What are these things? P means prophase. M, metaphase. A, anaphase. T, telophase. Okay, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Okay. So what happens in prophase? In prophase, okay. Quickly, I just want to go through it. Okay, one more thing. In this cell cycle and the cell division, particularly the cell division, you can divide them into two things. Okay, two ways. One is karyokinesis and one is cytokinesis. Okay, karyokinesis, it means the division of nucleus, and cytokinesis, division of cytoplasm. Okay, this karyokinesis, this prophase, this metaphase, this anaphase, this telophase, they all comes inside this karyokinesis. Okay. So what I mean prophase? This was the, let me just draw. This was your DNA and this was your nucleus. There were these are the chromatin fibers. Okay. Prophase means is the start of the division. Okay. As I have mentioned before, just the moment of that start of the division, these chromatin fibers, these are chromatin fibers, they will start condensing. So what happened in prophase? The chromosome, they starts condensing. Okay, they start condensing, and at the fag end, at the end of this prophase, what happened? This nuclear membrane. Okay, let me just draw here. This is your nuclear membrane. Okay, at first of this prophase, these chromatin fibers, they start condensing, and all the water inside the cell, inside the nucleus, they just goes out. Okay, whatever is inside, it just gets dried out. Okay, and this nuclear membrane, it just vanishes. So this chromosomes, they are some kind of open in the cytoplasm. Okay, and there remains one more thing, that centrosomes, they just goes to poles. Okay, what happens in the next steps after prophase comes metaphase. So is the red pen? Here it is. Metaphase. What happened? This is your cell. I'm just make a dear video. Just sorry, make a circle. So what happens? This century was there, and there remains red color. There remains your these are your chromosomes. There are some astral rays. These are the microtubule. Okay, MTOs we call them. So they just attaches to the centromere. These astral rays, they just attaches to the centromere. Okay, and look, the chromosomes, they are lying in the equatorial region. Okay, these chromosomes are lying in the equatorial region of the cell, and hence we call it as metaphase plate. Okay, metaphase plate. Yes. Now what happened? I'm just doing the remaining diagram here. Okay. Sorry. Bad habits. This this happens in anaphase. What happens? These are now chromatids. Okay, these are now chromatids. So these chromatids, they start going to two poles. This particular chromatid, these were the chromosomes. They get hopped and they are attracted to the opposite pole. Okay, we call it as anaphasic movement. Okay, it is a movement to the poles. Okay, then what happens? This is the anaphase. Okay, just a small intro of anaphase. Then what happened at the last stage? I have to remove everything. These chromatids, they reach to the pole. Actually, it is a late anaphase, and a small, a very tiny cell membrane starts appearing around it. Okay, and at the later steps, in telophase, what happened? Sorry, that green one was nuclear membrane, okay, not the cell membrane. Okay, what happens? Those chromatids that have went to this pole, they starts DNA synthesis. Okay, DNA synthesis, and they just unwind. Okay, or you can simply say they just start synthesizing, as it was half in the earlier case. Now they are getting synthesizes to the more and more chromosome. Okay, and this cytoplasm, it makes a division, it makes a cleavage. Okay, it makes a cleavage, and what happens as a result? These things forms two different cells with the same number of chromosomes. Look, it was the parental one in the prophase, and these are the two daughter cells having the same number of chromosomes. Okay, so that's it. And one more thing, the main difference between mitosis and meiosis is that mitosis, it generally happens in the somatic cells. Okay, and meiosis, it happens in the reproductive cells. The main function, the main significance of mitosis, you have to know it gives you the chance of repairing any lost cells. Suppose you have any cut or any injury, so that misplaced cells need to be grown again, so that repair it has been done. This mitosis is generally gives you the growths and the developments. Okay, and the meiosis one, it generally happens in the reproductive cells to give you the half number of chromosome in case for your reproduction, for your reproductive cells. For human being, as this biology, this chapter of yours, it generally considered with the human biology. So this, as for the sperm and for the ovum, it just produces haploid and haploid number of chromosome. Okay, so that's it. Hope it will help you. If you like the video, the description, do give some likes in the video. Okay, and if you find anything, if you have any queries, you can ask me. Okay, so that's it for today. See you again.